Hi, and welcome to another episode of Composed Living with Elsa Albert. I am your host, Elsa. I'm very excited about today's guest because it combines two of my favorite things in the world, talking about sustainability and all the cool things people are doing in that arena, and also a good night's sleep. You know how important it is to have a really cozy bed. A good night's sleep is crucial to your overall physical and mental well-being. My guest today is Kat Dey. She's the co-founder and president of Ettitude, an award-winning material science company with the mission to dramatically reduce the harmful environmental impact of textiles. With its proprietary technologies, Ettitude offers sustainable bedding, bath essentials, apparel, and a variety of textiles made with clean bamboo. Their sheets are often referred to as the best night's sleep of your life, and you'll definitely sleep better knowing that your bedding is chemical-free and sustainably sourced from start to finish. Kat is a serial entrepreneur and executive, and also serves as advisor and investor in several early-stage companies. She has an MBA from Columbia Business School and has appeared in Fortune, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, LA Times, Today, BBC, and more. Please welcome my guest today, Kat Dey. Hi, Kat, and thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thanks, Elsa. Happy to be here.
I'm so excited to learn more about Ettitude and about your journey to joining this brand. For Composed Living, while we focus on home organization, our biggest passion is on sustainability and making sure that our clients and our listeners, and really anyone who pays attention to what we're saying, has more information about how they can be more conscious consumers. So choosing healthier options for themselves and for the planet, that's our dream. And so I'm very happy to have you as my guest today so we can talk about all of my favorite things.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. As a quick
How?
background,
Yeah.
so I'm Kat Dey. I'm the co-founder and president of Ettitude, and Ettitude stands for Eco Attitude. So it's really in the brand name and in the DNA of the company to create products that are good for your health and good for the health of the planet. And we focus on new materials. So fabric innovation is where we are focusing, and applied our technology in the home goods space first. So that's what our brand is known for at the moment. So bed sheets, duvet covers, pillowcases, duvet inserts, things like that, and also some really great towels. And I joined the company almost 6 years ago now,
Wow.
and really just fell in love with the initial products. I had the best sleep of my life when my co-founder and the CEO of the company, Phoebe, had sent me the sheets, and I just felt like this was a groundbreaking product. And as a serial entrepreneur, I had by then sold my first company that was also focused on health, and was looking for the next big thing. And this really appealed to me. I thought this was a great product and had an enormous potential for impact. So that's why I joined. And here I am 6 years later.
Wow. I love that. Our office manager, when she saw your name pop up on the list of potential guests, was like, I am obsessed with this company. They're the most wonderful sheets in the world.
Awesome. So
Like,
glad to
okay.
hear that.
Yeah, so fun. I want to talk a little bit about, so you mentioned that you're more in like the fabric innovation business. And I think that's such a cool place to start because there's so much waste in the textile industry as people are getting to be more aware of. And from what I've researched about Ettitude, the amount of intention and thought and care that went into coming up with a fabric that is comfortable and feels luxurious, but that also, like, I've never seen another company who's putting this much effort into making sure that sustainability is in like every single part of their process. Uh, and I'm so appreciative that there are people, like you and your colleagues who are doing this because it's wonderful for us as consumers to be able to buy things that we can feel really good about. But everything that you make is using bamboo. Is that correct?
Correct. That is our main innovation is using bamboo as a raw feedstock. But then, unlike previous bamboo fabrics that had to use extremely toxic chemicals to dissolve the hard stalks of bamboo, we use a food grade solvent. So you can put your hands in it. It's organic. It's very gentle, very mild to dissolve the bamboo and then create the fiber. So the resulting material have not just more sustainability, but also new features that previous bamboo fabrics never had. So we can do a lot more. So that is our kind of base for everything that we do, that we patented and trademarked as clean bamboo, to really differentiate versus the dirty bamboo of the past. And we now use that sometimes to blend with other really exciting materials like charcoal and hemp to create other features that we want to achieve.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued and I need to order a set of the linen, the sort of bamboo linen sheets. I was reading about them last night and I was like, I love the texture of linen. I'm also like such a hot sleeper. And so that really appeals to me. And I'm very curious to see what it feels like to have the combination of bamboo and hemp making this sort of like linen inspired fabric.
Yeah, it's actually quite amazing. We've basically taken the super amazing sustainability of hemp and a little bit of that rough texture and combined it with the silky smooth, soft, clean bamboo fiber to create this incredible balance of softness and the linen look.
Yeah.
So it kind of has that rustic look. And what we like about it, it's actually more sustainable than Belgian flax linen. It saves CO2 emissions, it saves water, it avoids harmful chemicals, but also you don't have to wash it as often because it's antimicrobial due to the hemp. So we love that.
Wow. I
I
didn't know
hate doing
that about
laundry.
hemp. That's so cool. I actually don't mind doing laundry, but I do not enjoy putting a fitted sheet back onto a mattress. So
Yes, or the
that's the
duvet
worst
cover.
part.
It's always a hassle.
I know, right? I do honestly, though, feel quite proud of myself when I can like single-handedly put a king size duvet cover back and I need no assistance.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. This has never happened on a podcast before, but Pip is going bananas outside of the office door. And I
I
think
can't hear her,
she just needs
but
to be a part
yeah,
of
you
the
should let her
conversation.
in.
Come on, you little one. Okay.
We're an animal-friendly brand,
Sorry.
so
Sorry.
definitely welcome her.
For anybody watching on YouTube, this is Pip. She's usually
So
very
cute.
quiet, but for some reason today, maybe she's just feeling like she needs more snuggles. So she can stay
Oh.
in here and hang out. And we'll get you your own bamboo bedding because you're fancy.
The cats and dogs absolutely love Ettitude, I have to say.
Oh gosh, I'm
So,
sure. She's
yeah.
definitely a like hop in the bed sleeper. My husband is not, well, two things. He does not like linen sheets as much as I do. I love the texture of linen and that sort of like really organic roughness. And he cannot see past it. Like he just thinks it's awful and it's scratchy and it's always wrinkly. And I was like, yeah, that's the point. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the Ettitude linen sheets might be like the perfect combination for both of us, where it has like a bit of the softness for him, a bit of that organic texture for me.
Yeah, I think you guys will love it. So you'll love the breathability of it. So that's kind of what we achieve there. And that's what most people love about linen. But yeah, it's definitely a lot softer even out of the bag. But it gets softer with every wash like linen does too.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit less wrinkly. So people who don't like the wrinkle, they will appreciate it.
I don't know why he can't just see pet. It's like I keep trying to tell him that is the look of it. It's like you don't need to worry about like steaming it and having it be perfect. It's never going to stay that way. And he's like, no, it's not perfect. Okay,
There are
great.
definitely
Not for you
different preferences.
then.
That's kind of why we launched it because for the longest time, our clean bamboo sateen sheet set was the most popular and what we're known for. It's very silky smooth, and most people are like, wow, this feels like silk, except it's more breathable. It's so comfortable. So that's what we were focused on for the longest time. But we also heard from customers who don't like the silky, slippery feeling. And so that's why we made the Linen Plus.
So nice.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about bamboo, I mean, I feel like I know why people use bamboo as a more sustainable alternative to trees. But I would love to hear your explanation about sort of what makes bamboo different, and why it is so readily accepted as the sustainable solution.
Yeah, of course. So many times people do compare Ettitude's clean bamboo to tencel. That's something that you might have heard of. That is a lyocell made from trees, so either eucalyptus or birch trees. And although tencel is probably one of, if not the best, sustainable material we have today, it's still made out of trees, which unfortunately it takes 537 times longer to grow a tree than it does to grow bamboo. And bamboo is not a tree, it's a grass, and it's a renewable resource. So we don't actually have to cut down, any endangered forests or the Amazon or, indigenous forests. So that is the main benefit, in that it is 100% traceable and it is 100% renewable, meaning that humans are not even harvesting it enough to deplete it. It's a renewable resource. And it's one of the best sequesters of carbon. It's actually better at sequestering carbon than trees, mostly due to its fast growth rate.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that part. That's awesome.
And it grows 100% on rainwater. It doesn't require any pesticides or fertilizer to grow. So that is one of the reasons that clean bamboo is hypoallergenic, in that the feedstock is organic, and then we process it using all organic solvents. So there's absolutely zero harmful chemicals that are touching your skin with the finished product, as opposed to a lot of the other materials out there. They're either using, non-organically grown materials and or then processing them with toxic chemicals, unfortunately.
Yeah. And then there, of course, is, not just the impact that that has on your body as you're sleeping on these things for many hours every night, but also the chemicals going back into our planet. So,
Yeah. So I think your question was specifically about trees. And so for folks who are super into this, we've done a life cycle assessment that compares Ettitude's clean bamboo to tencel, which is the eucalyptus or beech tree lyocell. And it actually proved that we're saving 57% of water and 22% of CO2, as well as avoiding 42% of eutrophication, which is a term to describe the amount of toxic chemicals going into water streams, and also avoiding 42% of fossil fuels. So we're just really proud of this third-party data that shows how much we actually save versus the best, most sustainable thing that's scalable and out there.
wow. Yeah, that's really remarkable. Do you have any, so I know you have sheets, you mentioned towels. I saw some really cozy looking pajama loungewear sets on your
Yeah.
website too. Do you have any other ambitions for how you can use the clean bamboo fabric? Any cool new products in the works?
Yeah, quite a few. So we are very excited about actually relaunching. Most of our products will be made starting in May, will be made in Peru.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we're actually taking our technology and applying it to, working with a supplier in Peru to do all of the weaving, actually the spinning, the weaving, and then the finished textiles, and then cutting and sewing there, which we're so excited about because we're really elevating the quality of the final products with this new production. And that's launching in May of 2024 across most of our SKUs in the bedding space. But also we'll be launching some new towels at some point. That's going to be also antimicrobial. So I'm looking forward to it because I hate mildew on my
Yeah.
towels.
That
So
was the first thing I was thinking when you said antimicrobial. I was like, oh, it's probably gonna keep that sort of like damp towel smell off of that fabric.
exactly. Our clean bamboo fabric already does that, but the new fabric is going to actually be blended with hemp as well. So that's going to be even more efficient at keeping that mildew away.
Oh, awesome. And
Yeah.
do you only sell online or do you have retail stores in?
Currently just online.
Okay.
So ettitude.com is the best place to get our products. We do sell on a few other websites like Amazon and Revolve Clothing and a few others. But generally, you can get the best selection and the best deal on ettitude.com.
Cool.
And we actually made a special discount code for this audience, which is Compose20 to get 20% off.
Ooh, now I know how I'm getting my linen sheets.
Yeah, that's right. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, thank you. That's so generous. And Adriana will add that into the show notes so nobody has to remember it, but make sure to go and check it out. Pip, you're so wild. You know what it is? She loves like hunting lizards, which is terrible. She just plays with them. She doesn't like eat them. But I think now that it's finally stopped raining, she's like, let me live outside.
Yeah, she probably wants to go out. Look at
You're
those
so funny.
eyes.
You're
She's
so
so
funny.
cute.
I know. I just love you so much. Maybe she should just always be a guest on the podcast from now on. You're very
Hey, that
photogenic.
works. Yeah.
Has this level of sustainability always been something that it has been important to you or ingrained in past businesses?
Yes. So actually, before joining Ettitude, I founded, scaled, and sold a mission-driven company called Try the World, which is a food subscription service that sends you international artisanal gourmet food from around the world to your doorstep. And Try the World is actually the first company that integrated the global food supply chain by being an importer, distributor, and retailer all in one. And we focused even then on mission-driven, artisanal, all-natural products. And that was always important to me. Even before starting that company, I worked at Weight Watchers. And so health has always been a top priority for me. And Weight Watchers was, of course, focused on helping people lead healthier lifestyles through their choices, their food choices, and education around that. So I did strategy there, and it kind of just continued throughout my life. So today I'm still focused on health very much, and sleep is the foundation of health. But also I'm doing the best I can to avoid toxic chemicals around my household, in my diet, of course, in my beauty products. And it just became apparent that textiles is the next frontier for avoiding toxic chemicals. And we touch textiles 24/7. We're either wearing clothing or we're sleeping in bed sheets that are touching our skin, which is our biggest organ. And it's just so unfortunate that textiles are typically, there are 2,400 like chemicals found in textiles that are commonly used. And almost 10% of those chemicals are considered harmful to human health. And it's not regulated in most cases. So it's just a huge opportunity for the industry to improve. And so that's what we're doing with Ettitude is one, educating consumers, and two, moving the industry towards a healthier future and more sustainable future. Because not only do we have our brand, which sells these amazing sheets and towels that we just talked about, but we actually also partner with large companies, mostly apparel companies, to replace harmful materials with our more innovative ones. So we have replacements for silk, for wool, for cashmere, for linen, for cotton, for viscose, of course, that we are working to replace as quickly as possible in the industry.
That's so awesome. So like on a large scale, a big retailer could just be purchasing all of their fabric stock from you when they're looking for a replacement for these materials?
So they're not retailers, they tend to be brands. So I can't name them yet because we're under NDA, but we can't wait to see actual products in market in the next couple of years that are made with our clean bamboo materials.
Yeah, that's so cool. I can't wait to be able to have some clothing options that I feel really good about purchasing. I think by nature of what I've been doing for work for the last 10 years, we just see how much waste leaves every household. We tend to consume so much that we don't need or that we don't intend to keep for a very long time. And so just seeing like truckload after truckload of these donations leave our clients' homes, I've sort of lost all interest in purchasing anything new or anything that's not an absolute necessity for myself. So it's a wonderful feeling when I feel like I can connect with a brand where it feels very in line with my values and where I would want to spend my resources.
Yeah, and for us, it's so important just making sure that people feel good about bringing in new products. So we actually make it super easy. You can return your old cotton sheets to us, and we'll recycle them for you. We'll make
Oh,
sure they
cool.
don't go to landfill. So that's something that we do. And when you do that, not only can you do that for free with a free shipping label, but you also get a $50 credit to spend on Ettitude products.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Textile recycling is something that I try very hard to educate all of our clients, all of our retail consumers about. We also run a nonprofit called Composed Giving. That's how we handle all of our clients' donations. And now also, now that we are a 501(c)(3), also donations from just the community. And textile recycling is one of the things that we offer. We don't do it ourselves. We take everything to Sway LA, and they do an incredible job of either, turning like respinning the fibers into new fabrics, or even just taking an existing fabric and cutting it down into something smaller, making a new product out of it and reselling it that way. They also do like dye baths, and they do mending, and they have a free shop on their site where people can just come kind of take clothes that they need. It's a very cool organization. Uh,
That's amazing.
yeah,
I'll
they,
definitely check it out. We do partner with something similar. I'm not sure if they're based in LA, but we when we do get returns of old Ettitude products, we actually don't donate them yet. First, we try to check if we can resell them. So we have a secondhand store
oh,
that we
cool.
call Ettitude Renew, where people can purchase returned products, and they're double checked to make sure everything is good. If there is some problem, it gets fixed, and you get to see exactly the condition of the product, and it's typically at a great discount that you can purchase it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love taking any extra measure to keep your products in the cycle of life. That's so cool. And I'm sure most
Yep.
returns are like you just opened it
Most
and
returns are
something
brand
didn't work.
new, like
Yeah.
if people ordered the wrong size or color or something like that. But we also offer a 30-night sleep trial. So people get to sleep on Ettitude for 30 nights and can return it for any reason within that time frame. So even though the percentage of people that use this is very, very low, because most people are like, wow, this is amazing. It really feels different versus any other sheets they've slept on. But there's still a small percentage of people that do return after they've slept on the sheets. And so that's how it goes to our Ettitude Renew store.
Wow. I love that. The whole mission of the business. I mean, I'm just so impressed from start to finish, from the creation of the clean bamboo materials. Even just I was reading about the actual growing of the bamboo and making sure that it's like not panda feedstock, and that it's
Yes.
all rainwater fed and the water is like reused so many times. There really is
Yes.
just so much care.
Yeah, we started by making sure our farm is FSC certified, which just means that it's ethically grown. Yeah, it's not a feedstock for panda. It is 100% organic. So all of that was very important, just starting from the farm. And then, of course, the processing of it, that's the main innovation of how we process it with clean, green chemistry is what we call it. And then making sure that we dye it with all non-toxic dyes. And then, of course, the final products are completely non-toxic, and they're certified by Oecotex with class 1 certification, which is the highest certification you could get. It's actually safe for babies. I mean, of course, great for adults too, but it is the highest certification you could possibly get on textiles.
Nice. Do you make you make crib size sheets?
We do have crib sheets, yeah. We
Ooh.
have a baby bundle of crib sheets. We have some baby hooded towels. We have mattress protectors. I actually have 2 kids, so I went through this whole, having new babies phase in my life, and wanted to make sure that everything in my household was free of toxins. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited that, we can provide this to new parents, these amazing products.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's actually a very commonly asked question that we get. Oftentimes we'll have new clients who are reaching out because they are pregnant for the first time and they want help, setting up a nursery and getting everything ready before the baby comes. And they always ask, like, what paint should I use? What sheets should I get? What mattress is the best mattress?
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, that's so
well,
important. But also
totally.
for the mom, it's so important to have comfortable sleep while she's pregnant. But then, of course, after the baby comes,
Yeah,
everybody wants more
always.
sleep. So, Ettitude is actually probably the best sheets you could get if you're pregnant. Is, like I mentioned, completely safe from a chemical perspective, but also it's so smooth and breathable. And we've heard from moms and moms to be time and again how they can't sleep on anything else. It's just so much more comfortable, and they can finally get relief from those night sweats, or if you're just uncomfortable from being pregnant.
Pregnant, yeah.
Yeah, even actually the entire you know Willis family, like Rumor Willis and Demi Moore, and the entire family is really obsessed with Ettitude sheets. And Rumor, when she was pregnant, said that that's the only sheets she could sleep on.
Well, that's the best compliment to get.
Yeah.
So fun. How old are your kids?
So I have two. I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
What are they into these days?
Um, we actually spent a lot of time building Legos last night, and that was really
Oh,
fun as a whole family. We're trying to reduce screen time by replacing it with more, on hands-on activities, and it's been really good.
that is an ongoing battle, I think. Our kids are quite a bit older. My oldest is 23, and I have two stepsons who are 13 and 15. Everybody lives at home with us. Uh, and it's really hard. It's so hard as a parent to it's like, I don't know what to do anymore. They're so connected to their friends via their cell phones. And then I also don't want them to miss out on seeing the world because they're just staring down at a screen. Not to mention all the physical and emotional drawbacks of being on technology all the time. And then, I try to think about like, what does it feel like to be them and be going through this time? Like, it feels so punitive to take that away from them. And they don't quite understand yet the ramifications of just being like staring at a screen all of the time, or the lack of being outside and connection with nature. And then I'm like, am I just being super old? Like, am I turning into my parents? And everyone's like, in our generation. But I
Yeah.
don't think that's the case. I mean, we just don't know anything different. This is like the first generation of humans that are growing up uh, in such a technology focused world. It's a little bit sad.
Yeah, I think I mean, our kids are younger, so it's a little bit easier from that
Yeah.
perspective. We get to not quite dictate, but we can set the mood in the
Yeah.
household. But I think it really starts with yourself. Are you waking up and grabbing your phone first thing in the morning, or are you setting some time to meditate and be intentional with the time that you spend with your family? And so for me, I actually love Jay Shetty. And that was one of the best pieces of advice that I took from him, is to not grab your phone in the morning. Don't let other people enter into your life first thing into the morning. You can delay that by at least an hour. Do the
Yeah.
things you actually want to do.
That's so funny because I also credit Jay Shetty with my not going to bed with my phone anymore. I love him and the book Think Like a Monk. Is that the
Yeah.
one? Such a wonderful, just very easy read, but filled with just the language that I think we need to hear and be reminded of at this moment in history. But yeah, I purposefully now do not actually, from the time that I'm done with my workday, I leave my phone in the kitchen because I notice the never ending compulsion to like see if anybody emailed. And it's like, why do I care if somebody emailed me at 9 o'clock at night? I'm not going to respond. But it
Yeah.
was like almost like a tick, like you don't even notice that you're doing it. And then
Yeah.
I would look over and be so frustrated that the kids are like, if we're watching a show together, they're also on their phones, just like scrolling through TikTok. And I was like, I can't be mad at them if I'm doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's all about modeling and, it starts with us.
Yeah. So now I have a routine that I've gotten so used to. It makes me so happy in the mornings to wake up and I make a coffee and I do some journaling and morning pages. And I've had the book, The Daily Stoic, for so many years and I've never read it like consistently every day. So this was my year that I was like, I will read it every day on the day.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, it's one page. It doesn't take very long, but it's a nice little way to start your morning. And
I love that.
yeah, so
I mean,
hopefully,
we're still in kind of the beginning of the year. It still feels like the whole year is ahead of us. We can start some really great positive habits.
yeah,
And, I always, work on my goals for each year, towards the end of the previous year. And I come up with a word or a phrase to describe my intentions for the next year. And for this year, for me, gradual improvement. It seems kind
oh,
of like not ambitious enough, but I realize that it's actually quite ambitious because the way to get to your goals is to take small steps.
yeah,
And,
absolutely.
sometimes it can feel too challenging to take on a goal that's too big. But if you break it down into smaller bites, it's much more manageable.
I
So,
love
yeah,
that
that's my intention for 2024.
gradual improvement. Um, I do the same or similar, kind of trying to come up with one word that is the focus or almost like the mantra of the year. And last year was just so much about like new big projects and launching a nonprofit and the podcast and a retail space. And this year it was like, I don't want anything new. I don't want anything more. I want to simplify what we're doing and what's on the plate. And I want to really fine tune what we're offering. So, because I work with all millennials, I threw out some example phrases to them and they came back with simplify and slay. So
I love that.
that's our motto for the year.
Okay, I love
And
it.
it's
It's got a little
really
alliteration.
helpful. I mean, I find myself in like marketing meetings with the team, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, there's this amazing idea, and we could do this with it. And I hear them adding on more and more and more. And I feel like my heart rate elevating, and just like I'm having a physical reaction to this, y'all. Like, simplify and slay, nothing new. Doesn't mean it's not a beautiful idea. Let's write it down. Let's revisit it next year, but if it's new, it is not happening.
Yeah, no, that's great. Focus is so important. I feel like most people have had fairly challenging years in the last couple of years. So, there's just so much going on in the macro environment. So for me last year was optimism, because there's just so much pessimism going on.
Oh yeah.
So it was really about how do we focus on, the positives and work towards that. And I think that was very successful, for Ettitude. And we launched a lot of new things last year. We launched the Linen Plus fabric, the vegan cashmere that we call plant cashmere and plant silk, and started working with some top luxury brands to replace their unsustainable materials with our more innovative ones. And so there's just a lot that we had that gave us hope for a better future. And so this year is just kind of writing out and continuing to do what we set in motion last year.
That's so great. Ugh, gradual improvement. I think
Yeah.
that's the perfect phrase for, what we're all hoping to achieve. So cool.
Yeah.
Uh, thank you so much for being my guest today. I'm just, like I said already, I know multiple times, so thankful that there are people like you and your co-founder and all of your colleagues who are just determined to give us better options, to make an impact on our planet. You mentioned optimism and like what's been happening around the world the last few years. I mean, just the world always, if you look long enough, you're going to find so much negativity and so much strife. And I choose to focus my energy more on conversations like this and finding people who are doing really cool, really innovative things that give us hope that there is a better future and a healthier future, and that the outlook is not as bleak as some channels would have you assume. You know, people are really doing some cool shit out there, and it's so fun to learn more about it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited about it. I highly recommend everyone to, if you are on social media, to subscribe to more positive accounts. So I like the Happy Broadcast is one of them
Ooh.
for any kind of news that are positive around the world. I also really like the Garbage Queen. So she talks about positive environmental news. So all of the things that are happening that are actually moving things towards improvements, whether it's, legal, like laws passing, or new technologies that are coming out that are more sustainable, just positive things that make you feel like it is actually possible for us to have a habitable planet for the next generation. So the Garbage Queen is one that I really love.
That's awesome. I haven't heard of that one, so I'm excited to check it out. And thank you for sharing those resources. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully it will
Well,
help a little bit with mental health. We
yeah.
all just need some positive news every day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As a reminder, we have a 20% off discount code for all our listeners. Make sure you try out these sheets and send back your old sheets to be responsibly recycled. That's such an awesome bonus. And how generous of Ettitude to do that with a free return shipping label. That's so nice.
Yeah.
And thank
Yeah.
you, Kat, again, so much for taking the time to be our guest today and for sharing so much information about Ettitude and all the cool things y'all are doing.
Thank you so much.